Hello guys, good morning to everyone. My name is Murli. I am from project allocation team and I am here to assign a project to all of them. Okay, so the ultimate goal of this particular project is, since you people have already learned HTML, CSS so far, and by using the HTML and CSS concepts, you people have to build this application. So this sounds like a static application at this stage. The moment when you guys are learning JavaScript, you have to add JavaScript concept into this particular same application, so that the ultimate goal of this assignment is you guys have to learn theoretically in the classes, you have to do practicals in the assignments, and you should learn real time by applying all the concept whatever you guys are learning into a project. That is the ultimate goal. Why? Because now the industries are expecting practical knowledge and project based knowledge. Tomorrow what you can do, you can also proudly say that during my training I have done this project, and project 1, project 2, project 3, and project 4. At least you guys have to build minimum 3 and maximum 4 projects. Now I hope, and our team has already helped you guys to understand HTML and CSS up to a certain level. So I am going to assign a project for all of you guys, and I'll try to assign a project, assets. I'll be giving assets as well. So Mr. Somesh is the one who is going to help you to develop this particular project. Now you can see guys, the header, right from the beginning header, this header part, you guys have to design header by using Flexbox. Header is going to be built, and you can also make a note of Mr. Somesh, and whatever we are giving, they have to follow the same. Okay. So the header part, you guys have to use Flexbox. And now you can also see that underneath of a header, the moment when we are scrolling down, the header is becoming sticky, so that you guys have to use CSS sticky position in order to make this particular feature. After that, you all can see that there is a banner. You can also keep seeing that the banner is keep moving on. So in order to keep moving this particular banner, for time being, since you are not aware of JavaScript, you don't need to execute this slider, but you have to use this particular image as a background, and the text whatever we are displaying here, that Nike new collections, this you have to use it as a heading 1. Underneath of that heading 1, this could be a paragraph. Next, this is a icon, the plus symbol with a circle. You have to build a CSS, and the background should be gradient background. Okay, and add to bag, this is one of the anchor tag. The moment if tomorrow, once you guys are good enough in JavaScript, if user clicks on add to bag, it has to add that particular product into the cart page. That particular functionality, you guys can even do it later. At this particular stage, try to add a banner. It's a kind of a static template that you guys are going to build. Okay, next, third section. This is the process. What is the process which this application follows? You can see that free delivery, a return policy, 24/7 support, secure payment. And here you can all see that this is all you can go ahead and use H2 heading 2, and you can also use span here, and H2 span, H2 span, H2 span. And for in the place of icons, you all can use font awesome icons. And you can also check with Somesh. Somesh will guide you how to use font awesome icons instead of using the images. For any doubts with respect to this particular project, and Somesh is the person, he'll be able to guide you all. Am I making sense? This is the third section. When it comes to the fourth section, guys, this fourth section, you guys have to use grid system. And you can see that popular products, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can even accommodate it by using grid. And I don't want to give examples, or maybe I don't want to give a clue. but you guys have to come back with your own strategies in order to mimic the same. And from our team side, project allocation team side, we are going to provide the assets, images we are going to provide. But how are you going to plan? That is completely up to you. And you can see that the free delivery return policy, up to free delivery return policy and secure payment. This section, first 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3, you guys have to use Flexbox. From 4th section, 4th, 5th, and 6th, you guys have to use Gridbox. This all section you have to use a Gridbox. You can also see that if you click on next, and this sliding is moving, you need not worry about this slider. Once you guys are familiar with JavaScript, you have to customize that particular previous and next functionality. And for time being, you try to add that particular elements over here. Keep it as a static. On H over, you can also see that we are giving some text color. We are highlighting with black color. And shaded color is, and I hope you understand, this all you can also use. The UI part you must have to complete. And here also, again, this is the title of your product. This will be the original price. Sorry, this is the original price, and this will be a discounted price. And here you can all see that add to bag, and this is as to wish list, and this is something, you know, compare. This is something view more. These are all the icons that you can use from Font Awesome. And Somesh will explain you tomorrow, maybe in the class. He will try to explain. Meanwhile, you please, until you know that particular information is available to all of you, you can even play with the other layout part. If you have any kind of questions or confusions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to address your queries in the session itself. And also, guys, when you guys are, you know, designing this kind of layout, my sincere advice is you have to use CSS code reusability. Create, you know, couple of classes. Start using the same class again and again. And your code should also be optimized. You should not be in a position to rewrite a code again and again. And we will also identify the right person, and we'll try to give a prize money, either money or we are going to appreciate in a different way. And kindly put your efforts in a proper way. And based upon this particular project output, and you guys are going to promote to the JavaScript, or anyhow, JavaScript classes are going to start from tomorrow. And even if we wanted to, as a placement team, if you wanted to help, you guys have to be technically strong. If you're not good in terms of technical, or if you don't have a patience to do this kind of projects, and we are not the one who is going to help you. So please try to take this particular project as challenge and test your skills, whatever you learned so far. And meanwhile, if you're facing any challenges, you can even keep asking questions in a group. Our team is always ready to help you. And what I'm trying to say, HTML standards. Somesh, kindly, you know, release HTML standards and CSS standards and file structure and folder structures to them.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. And also, guys, everyone has to create a, you know, folder structure. I'll also give you the folder structure as well. You cannot even create your own structure. You have to prepare whatever the structure we are giving. You guys have to treat we as a clients, and you have to satisfy us. And it is an individual project now. So maybe once you guys are good at individual performance, then we'll also put you into the group performance as well. That will be taken care in the later stages. Okay. Now 4th section to the 6th section, you guys have to use Gridbox. Now this is also, you see that, you know, how you are planning, and you should also use right click and inspect an element. The font, you guys have to use a font Poppins, sir. And here we have used Poppins. And I think you guys are already aware how to use an external Google font into our web page. Poppins is the font that you're supposed to use it.
Yes, sir, already explained.
Yeah. So even this is everywhere, you can see that there is a functionality involved. But for time being, you can keep this particular icons in place. The functionality, we can add it later once you are good at JavaScript. Now, next, this is something like, you know, our brands, and this icons also we are providing. This logos also we are providing, and deals of the week. Maybe from deals of the week, you guys have to use float. I know we are not going to use float much in our recent developments, but you should also understand how float also works. and make sure that you have to make this particular page responsive using media queries. And on a over, some of the places, you can see that the background color, the text color is changing. All the cosmetic changes also you have to do it. And here in the place of sample text, you can also play with the lower ipsum text, or if you want to write your own text also fine, but the final output should be match like this. And this has to be deals of the week has to be taken care by float. And the footer, again, this footer you must have to create by using grid again. Any questions about the assignment so far? If you have any questions or confusions, feel free to ask now. This is a home page. Now this page you guys have to create. We are giving 2 to 3 days of time. And next, once you are good enough in this home page, we are going to build a shop by category page. Now this is a page you guys have to build little later. And while building this particular application, my sincere request is do not ever copy the code from internet. If you guys are copying the code internet, we'll be immediately rejecting your particular project. We won't even consider that particular code. Every lines of code that you guys have to put it on the plate, and you have to write from your own. And naming conventions of a classes, naming conventions of a files, naming conventions of an attributes, and semantic tags you guys have to use more, and non-semantic tags use less. And CSS also use CSS code, reusable code. Don't ever try to rewrite again CSS rules. And you have to write as many as less lines if you try to write. And so that particular project only we are going to give a first rank. So once you guys are familiar with homepage, then you have to build a next week. You guys have to work on this particular shop by category. Once you guys are shop by category, and there will be another one. So this is one of the page. We'll try to give 2 to 3 days for building this particular page. And once you are familiar with all this functionality, I'm sure you can become expertise in this particular project, my dear students. Now here we have a pagination also. No worries. Don't worry too much about this particular page at this stage. Try to focus. If user clicks on this logo, it has to redirect back to the index.html page. So now your concentration is only on HTML page, the to home page of this application. If you want, we can also take the screenshot of this particular page. We can give it to you all. Okay. Next, the folder structure. Let me talk about the folder structure. Now you all can see here, guys, listen carefully. All the CSS files, external CSS, you're supposed to use it. All the CSS, you have to keep it inside a CSS folder. And maybe if you are planning to download a Poppins, or if you are planning to load Poppins font directly from Google, you can also load it. Or else if you want to load it from your local, you can download your font. You can keep it here. From there, you have to load it. Both the ways you have to load. By downloading also, you have to show the example. And by giving a CDN link also, you have to show the example. All the images also, you can see that we have created category wise. All the banner images we are keeping in a banner. And next and previous images also we are loading here. And every asset we are going to provide, keep loading all the assets. And moving forward, if you wanted to add any JavaScript, try to add all the JavaScript inside a JS folder. And SCSS, you are not aware, don't worry about it. Next, in the root folder, you have to create an index.html at present. Now see, the final project structure is CSS, font, images, and index.html. That's all. There will be no JS folder and there will be no SCSS folder. Only one page. Moving forward, if you are creating a category page, you have to create a category.html. If you are creating a cart page, you have to create a cart.html. Like that, you have to create. This is a folder structure that you're supposed to follow. Am I making sense? Any questions? Any questions so far, online team?
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys are clear about this particular project. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm winding up the show, and I'll be sharing the assets in the group and start putting efforts from now. And wherever you guys are stuck, try to raise your voice in the group. Our team is going to help you to complete this particular project. That's all from my side. Happy Holi and happy Women's Day, all the participants here. And keep working and happy coding, sir.
Thank you. Happy Holi, sir.